Rational Agent 47. From my perspective, is body just a higher amount of tested flavors, and humans will always look back and remember the experience that gave them the highest dopamine hit. The behavior is human, and that is also the topic of Alpha Widow. Thank you for bringing up exactly where I was going with body count today. What a perfect segue. Thank you, Rational Agent. So let me thank since he sort of course corrected for us here. I wanted to throw out a few things. And we watched these videos just a minute ago about body count. And let me just state for the record right now, the reason I pulled all those ones off of whatever podcast is because I did a net scrape for body count before I did this show. Okay. Yeah. What do you think the number one show comes up when you're like, doing?
Bro, that's the topic that got me canceled.
Was it with body count? Yeah. So by the way, on no other podcast on planet fucking, and even in excess of like Fresh and Fit, who by the way probably started the trend, but the number one topic on whatever podcast is always body count. Everybody comes back to it. In fact, when I was titling today's show body count, I felt a little weird about putting it on there because it's so cliche and everyone's been doing it, and it's just like, oh fuck, body count again. I hate even bringing it up when I'm on Access Vegas because I think the girls even expect it now. Even girls who don't know anything about the red pill, they expect that question because it's just on TikTok. They've probably seen a million other TikTok videos. Don't have to see our show. It could be anywhere else.
Yeah.
So body count is overdone. Okay, I get it. But the reason why I'm doing this today is because I don't think it's complete. I don't think enough people really realize why body count is a big deal. Now, in every single one of these shows, I've already got a list right here. My list. The first thing everybody says, like Melina said, is that, well, guys are insecure. That's why they ask about it. If you were secure, you wouldn't ask about it. You wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, where does that security come from? Or why is that the go-to answer for women? Because it sounds like it's shaming. Okay. Now, one guy on whatever podcast was saying, well, yeah, I'm insecure. So what? So the fuck what? Am I not right in being insecure about who is, the town bicycle, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you look at his response to that one girl who was saying insecure, and then you look at Melina's response to AUDIBLE talking about, well, it seems so insecure, it seems so transactional, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, because the problem with body count is not that it's some social thing. It's not even about insecurity. It's about biology is what it is. It's an evolutionary adaptation for guys to be hesitant to want to get with a woman who is available to everyone.
It's a liability, bro.
It could be a liability. Well, in our evolutionary past, it was definitely a liability, or it could be, because what it meant was that woman is a bad bet for your paternity. You don't know that the baby that comes out of that womb is going to be your kid.
Yeah.
So you don't know. And
well, not just that. It's like these girls are going to cause a bunch of drama in your life, bro. You're going to be worried if like she's still hooked on her ex or another dude's still in the picture.
That's where I was going.
And it's going to take time away from your business, your life, hanging out with the boys and doing good shit. And it's just like when your mind is occupied on a girl, like every other aspect of your life goes down. And that's literally why like I charge a lot for coaching with guys, because especially if they make a lot of money, because I'm helping them save a lot of money and make a lot of money as well. Like every single dude that I coach makes more money. And even if it's just about girls, because I help them free up time worrying about some who is either a hoe, she's not respecting them, or she's not valuing them. And it's just like, bro, when the guys are happier, they're in a better state, like you'll make more money. And that's what I've noticed for myself as well. You just do better. You perform better. You interact with people better. You show up better in life. So, yeah. Yeah. I was going to say is like when guys ask me, like, when they're asking me for advice, and they say, well, what can this generation do to sort of like get back on their feet? The first thing I tell them is like, get off your fucking sedations. Yep.
Like seriously, have some real insight and say, what is slowing me down? What is keeping me in the fucking quicksand, in the tar pit, right? What is holding me down? Well, 9 times out of 10 it's porn.
Yep.
Or it could be
games.
prescription opioids, or it could be weed, or it could be alcohol, or it could be video games, or whatever is sedating you. Get rid of that sedation. And sometimes that sedation is an overdependence or a over preoccupation with women, right?
Yep.
So like just what you're saying before. So if that's all if that is what is is delaying you or making you slower as a human being, then find a way to get rid of that so that you can be more productive. Now, I'll explain something. I don't drink, and I have not been drink. I've not drank since 2017.
Awesome.
And the reason why I never had a DUI, never had a problem with alcohol. I just simply wanted to stop drinking because I needed to finish the 4th book. And I was like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to drink until I finish I published the 4th book, which was religion. And it was very intense because it took 3 years of my life to do the research for it, to do all the interviews I had to for it, because I knew I had to be bulletproof on that. It is the most well-cited, sources-cited book that I've ever written in my life. And it was all new material, and it took a long time to do. And I knew I had to do that. And I couldn't do that if I was recovering from, drinking on a Friday. Saturday I'm hungover, Sunday I'm kind of like half awake, and then I got to go back at it again on Monday. I just hated that cycle. It's not that I don't like to drink. I please drink more. I still have I still get residuals from my 2 brands of alcohol that I have an ownership stake in. Please do have a good time. I'm not against alcohol, but if alcohol is what is sedating you to the point where you're a less productive human being as a result of that, then that's what you got to get rid of. And that's what I did back in 2017. Then, of course, it took me 3 years to finish the book. And so 3 years later, I'm like, oh, it's 2021. Now I can throw out the, I can go and have a drink. And then I realized I don't want to.
Yeah.
Because I'm more effective doing what I do by not drinking than I would if I was drinking. And so I just simply didn't get back into the habit, and I was just done with it. And as a result, I'm much more productive about it. And now what's funny is what you were saying before is you get more time. You get more time back to you. So all the time you would spend drinking, all the time you would spend fucking around, all the time you would spend like recovering from that. What are you going to do with that time?
Yep.
Write another book, do something creative, start a podcast,
help people.
Yeah. Read a good book, help people, whatever it is with that time. Because now you've been given back more time because it was being robbed from you because of your sedations. Now that's just alcohol. It could be porn, because guys will sit there and 3 or 4 times a day, and it takes them an hour to or whatever the fuck it is, right? Think of what you could do with that fucking time, man.
Yeah, bro. Like for me is like, remember when I told you, like, I mean, a lot of guys who know me, like, dude, I had Tinder when I was like 16 years old. It was a gift and a curse, bro, because it was the perfect time when Tinder was literally the most effective. At 16 years old, I had over like 300 matches on my first account.
Wow.
And it's a gift and a curse.
Were they all old men?
No, they were all like chicks who were like seniors in college, bro. And it was fucking hilarious because I had girls like picking me up from school. And I think I've told you about this. Yeah. Girls way older than me picking me up from school in like their dad's car, nice cars, and all that shit. It was just fucking hilarious. And all of my guy friends, we all treated like it was like a game at some point. It was like, okay, the goal is to get 7 different girls this week or some shit for each day of the week. As a sophomore, it's like that took up a lot of my time. And literally, I was kind of like sedated by that too, because I was having a bunch of chicks coming over. And the thing is, a lot of these, they like to stay up late as fuck. So they're not coming over until like 11 p.m., 12 a.m. And I'd be losing fucking sleep the entire night and being tired as shit, trying to go to school the next day. And it's just like, that was like my type of sedation. Like, yeah, it is dangerous because it was a gift and a curse. Like, yeah, it's enjoyable. It's fun. You get to flex it to your guy friends. It's cool, whatever. But it's like you're losing on so much time, your energy, and like your seed, bro. Like it's actual like gold. It's actual like valuable energy, bro.
I look at it this way. Like I think a lot of guys if they're addicted to porn, like their sleep, like people keep saying, "Oh, it rewires your brain, man." Well, whatever. We can debate that. I think what happens is like you lose sleep, is what you do. It's like if you're doing it 2 or 3 times a day, and like it's at nighttime, and you're going to bed at like fucking 2 a.m. because you're too busy, whatever. Now you got 4 hours of sleep, and it fucks with your sleep schedule on top of that. So like I think that's one thing that guys can certainly do is give up on that, give up on fucking alcohol. I mean, even just do it for a little while. Say, you know what, I got a project that I want to try. I want to see if I can do better at this. So for the next year, I'm not gonna jerk. I mean, I'll fuck chicks, but I'm not gonna fucking. And I'm not a no-fap guy, right? I don't see it as like some sort of like, it's your vital essence or like some sort of, your chi or some shit like that. But there is like a psychological element that goes along with that. And then there's, then you're getting time back, and you're getting, fucking your sleep time back. And then if you're not drinking, you're not fucking recovering all the time. And I will tell you this, man. I can tell you from experience, if being the only sober guy in the club at 2 a.m. is like a fucking superpower.
It is, bro. Yeah.
Because they're like, hey, where's my car? Like, you're like, oh, thank you, Superman, for helping me. Like, no, I'm the sober one. You're just fucking fucked up right now. God, nothing fucking annoys me more than like, I mean, and mea culpa on this too, but nothing annoys me more than like when Myron Gaines is trying to have a intellectual conversation with these chicks who start out pretty good. You know, in the beginning of the show, they're having a conversation back and forth. Yeah. And Myron's throwing out his best shit because an hour and a half in, that chick is like now 3 or 4 White Claws into the show. And she's like, you know, like, and
I don't know how they do it, bro.
Dude, like, and one thing that kills me is like, you're still trying to have the same conversation you did an hour ago with this chick who is visibly drunk right now. It's like, you're not going anywhere with this. And it's, you know,
yeah, that's why the night, I mean, I just went to the club yesterday, just because it's celebrating my birthday, but I avoid the clubs. I don't like the night game stuff. I prefer talking to girls I meet at like the grocery store, or the library, or at the mall, whatever. And just because it's the type of girls and their lifestyle is just, I don't like talking to these girls who are like that. The girls who are like all fake and fucking drinking, or oh, I'm gonna go see this guy. This DJ is playing here. I don't like those girls, bro. And it's just a lot. Some guys like that stuff. I'm just not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of the night game.
You kind of have to take it. I think you have to have expectations for like if there's a very attractive girl and she's like a club girl or something like that, you have to know this is a club girl. Yeah. So, and I don't think enough guys will really have the sexual abundance to say, okay, I can deal with that because I've got 4 other girls that I don't have to deal with that with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so I'm thinking that, you know, if you're not going to marry this chick, but like if you like, hey, I want to get with this chick, I want to see how she is in bed, blah blah blah. That's one thing. And there's one set of expectations, and there's a lot of strategies and game that you use in that situation. Whereas if you're looking for a woman who's not like that, who's a little bit easier to deal with because you met her in a grocery store or Barnes and Noble or some shit.
Well,
like
yeah.
That,
also, I'm just
that's a different set of like criteria.
Yeah. Well, a lot of my girlfriends now, they help with like my business and creating content. I have my girlfriends, they edit my videos, they post my videos, they do all that stuff. They help me. They cook, they clean, they fucking do the laundry, they make my bed, they clean the room. Like, they help out a lot. They save me time. Like, I'd rather have those assets for sure rather than a girl that's gonna waste my time for sex. It's like, because I can have sex with this girl, I give this girl sex whenever the fuck I want. I don't need to waste hours in the club with this girl because she's a bottle girl, she's hot, whatever it may be. Is like, I'm looking more for assets.
In that case, you're like wasting your time.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
So you don't want to waste your time.
Yeah.
And I understand. I completely can appreciate.
And I think most guys, like, they need to have that mission purpose. They need to know. And I think having a mission purpose that's tied to helping people really like set me on track for sure. And I think it set anyone on track who's helping other people, or you make helping other people your priority. It really keeps you disciplined. And I talked to some guys. I bought a house and I moved a bunch of guys into it. And I'm kind of mentoring them as well. And, you know, the biggest thing that I was trying to show them is like helping other people is going to help yourself. And I think you also learn more through coaching. And it's a very simple thing. You'll learn a lot through coaching people. And not only that, but you will become more disciplined through that. And maybe you do have to have a kid to take your life more seriously. I mean, we know guys in this space, I'm not going to say names, who have kids, and they had kids when they were broke. But guess what? They started making more money. It pushed them.
They kind of have to make more money at that.
Exactly. You have to, but they became more successful. I'm not saying you have to do that. Don't do that. I'm not suggesting that.
So I always, exactly.
Yeah.
But like I think that like when it comes to having kids, like when I had my kid, it was just like, was the natural progression. It's just what we were going to do.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't say, oh, we need to have more money, we need to do this. Like, I didn't make a fraction of what I make right now when I have my child.
Yeah.
So if I was going to wait until I was like, financially secure and everything, I'd be like 45, 50 years old. Right.
Yeah.
But I was well off enough and I was set enough that I was like, okay, I think I can pull this off. Right. And I love it when people say, well, married men they make more money than single men. Like, well, yeah, because statistically they have to make more money, because if they don't, they're no longer married.
Yeah.
I mean, it's part and part. And I don't know why this is like rocket science to these guys, but that's why.
Yeah.
And And so I always look at it this way: is like, if you're going to get married, if you're going to have kids, if you want to start a family, that's a lifestyle choice. And if a guy wants to stay single, if he wants to be Mike Sartain and he wants to like build his empire and he doesn't have any kids and he's never been married or any of this other stuff, that's a lifestyle choice. That's what he wants to do. And he's very effective at it and he does a good job doing it. Right. So it's not that one is less valid than the other. It's just that are you a success in either one of those scenarios? Like, I have a kid. I have been married for 27 and a half, almost 28 years now. A lot of people will say, they'll disqualify me for that because they'll say, oh, you're married, you don't know anything about this, blah, blah, blah. Or else then I'll listen to Matt Walsh talk about like, well, you can't talk about relationships unless you're married, unless you have kids, unless you have, he completely, what's funny to me is like, I think Matt Walsh has a love-hate relationship with Pearl because like he'll throw shit at her all the time for her opinions and stuff like that. And then because like she's the most useful tool he's got, but then he'll go and say, well, I don't know why anybody would take advice. I got to put a beard on. I don't know why anybody would take advice from a person who, for life choices and marriage advice and parenting from a woman who isn't married and doesn't have kids. Right. Okay. Well, maybe you got a valid point there, but that's the thing is like, this is like, that's a lifestyle choice. That's your lifestyle choice. This is my lifestyle choice. Yep. People think I'm a failure because I only had one kid. You didn't have 10? Oh, dude, you're going to hell. You're seriously, you're not going to, the Lord won't let you into heaven because you didn't repopulate the earth. Get the fuck out of here. Or I enjoy having sex with my wife. And you know what? We have non-reproductive. So we had great non-reproductive sex last night. I know that's too much information for you. Fan-fucking-tastic. Enjoyed every fucking minute of it. You know what? I have nothing but high praises for my wife, right? Because I was just like, you did it for non-reproductive reasons. Like, we're not going to have, trust me, we ain't having any more kids, but we still enjoy each other. So I don't see why that's a big deal. But the thing is like, it's all comes back down to like, what's your lifestyle choice and where you want to go with that. And so somebody's lifestyle choice, if you look at like, people give me this fucking all the time. They'll look at Dan Bilzerian. They'll have a picture of Dan Bilzerian with all his chicks. Like he's on a yacht somewhere and he's got like 4 chicks on one side, 4 chicks on the other, and they are fucking top shelf chicks. Right. And people will go, this isn't success. This is. And then I'll show like a woman who's got like 5 kids and then she's showing her positive pregnancy test for the 6th kid. And they're all like these perfect little white Anglo-Saxon blonde, blue eyes, get children and stuff. And like, this is success. And it's like, no, that's a lifestyle choice. And that's a lifestyle choice. And you know what? If you want to say that's success, more power to you. But you know what? Dan Bilzerian is pretty fucking successful. I met the dude. The dude is fucking successful. Okay. So it just kind of depends on what the context is that you're putting into.